What's up guys, LeopoldTheBrave here, and yes, I am seriously doing this. Nickelodeon just announced a couple days ago that they're doing a Smash Bros.-like game called Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl. And I'm pretty excited. Just like most of you probably, Nickelodeon was a huge part of my childhood. SpongeBob, Invader Zim, Fairly OddParents, Jimmy Neutron, and so on. Normally I wouldn't pay much attention to something like this, just brushing it off as a cheap knockoff. But it's being developed by the same people who made Slap City, which I hear great things about, and the roster is already very surprising, with characters from All Real Monsters and Nigel Thornberry himself. No, smashing! And it's even confirmed to have rollback netcode on supported platforms, aka probably everything except the Nintendo Switch. So it's likely going to have better online than Smash Ultimate, which is actually hilarious. Plus, it also has wave dashing and a bunch of other neat tech, and the animations are super clear and defined, just like a fighting game should have. It's extremely possible for this game to get an ironic competitive scene like Shrek's Super Slam, and that's gonna be entertaining. So needless to say, this game has caught my attention, and there are several characters from my childhood that I want to see in the game. So with that said, let's begin. Number 10 is Hugh Neutron, a bit of an obvious one, so I stuck him here to get him out of the way so the rest of the video can be a surprise. Now, I have nothing against Hugh Neutron. I think he's a very funny character and the memes are extremely entertaining, but on his own I wouldn't be too interested if he got in the game. However, since Nigel Thornberry is already here, now we can have the ultimate showdown of the century, the meme dads of Nickelodeon. Yes, please. It's not just for memes though. The more I thought about it, the more I actually did want Hugh in the game because he actually has some pretty interesting moveset potential. One of my favorite episodes of Jimmy Neutron is when Hugh becomes a toy inventor so they can stay in Retroville. But he's not actually good at it, so Jimmy reinvents his superpowered toys and that's what Hugh can use in his moveset. The pogo stick, the duck doll, the giant tank, and he can have some sort of counter mechanic with that forward and rewind remote that he messes around with in a different episode. Plus, we can't forget Donut Boy! So yeah, bring Hugh. Number 9 is Ember Mclean from Danny Phantom. Now, it took me quite a while to ponder which Danny Phantom villain should make it in the game. I thought of Vlad Plasmius, but no, he'd just be a Danny clone, but heavier, like Ganondorf to Captain Falcon. We don't need any clones in this game. Then I considered Skulker, but my number 8 choice could do everything Skulker can do, but better. Plus, they'd represent a new series instead of one that's already in the game. So I eventually settled for Ember. These fighting games could use more female characters anyways. She could hit people with her guitar, she has fire powers, she could play sound waves at people. Plus her guitar has different settings on it, so she could have a mechanic similar to Shulk in Smash Bros, where she can switch between different stat boosts. Then finally, she gains power from people saying her name, so if this has crowd chanting in the background like Smash Bros, then you could have her get stronger when the crowd chants her name. She'd be fun. Number 8 is XJ9, or Jenny from My Life as a Teenage Robot. Now, to be honest, I'm not the biggest Teenage Robot fan, but the roster would feel incomplete without her. She's a really cool robot character with a unique design, she'd represent a series that isn't in the game yet, and I know she'd make a ton of people happy. Now when I said I wasn't the biggest fan of Teenage Robot, that doesn't mean I dislike it, I just never really caught it when it was on, and never really saw a reason to check up on it later. So I don't really know what to say when it comes to a moveset beyond just cool robot stuff like buzzsaws and missiles if she has those, but yeah, she should be on the roster, and I'd love to see her, so make it happen. Number 7, the Angry Beavers. With how the trailer was set up, it looked like Gur was gonna be to Zim what Luma is to Rosalina in Smash. So since we have our own Rosalina and Luma, why don't we have our own ice climbers with the Angry Beavers? They have their sharp wood-chewing beaver teeth, their beaver tails could act like the hammers, and to add some uniqueness to it, Dag even has a superhero alter ego called Muscular Beaver. Plus, it would get even more old-school Nickelodeon in there since we already have Rugrats, Hey Arnold, All Real Monsters, and so on. Plus, there's a unique mechanic you could add to them. Unlike the ice climbers, the beavers don't always have a stable relationship. They could desync a lot easier when you're not doing well by arguing with each other and such. You know, just some ways to make them unique and give them personality. I think they'd be a great addition to the roster. Number 6 is Ultralord from Jimmy Neutron. I know a lot of people wanted the Crimson Chin from Fairly OddParents, but I just always found Ultralord's design to be way cooler. He has shields, power crystals that can strengthen him or make him grow in size. I think he can fly, I don't remember. But it would just be really cool to have a playable Ultralord. I think the only other Nickelodeon game where he was playable was like a sports baseball type thing or whatever that I never played, but yeah. It'd be neat if we could finally get him to put his powers to use. Plus, it would also be another Jimmy Neutron rep, a series that definitely deserves more than 2 characters. Number 5 is Squidward. Speaking of series that deserves more reps, we have Mr. Tortellini. Now I know SpongeBob already has 3 characters in the game, but that's their main thing. They deserve as many characters as they want, just like Mario and Smash. Plus, they're all different enough and creative enough to where they'd have their own unique movesets, unlike all those bobble-headed Loud House characters who'd all play the same. Meh. I'm just joking. But honestly, Squidward fits just fine. He's very acrobatic, he's a master of dance, kinda. He can play the clarinet, kinda. The roster would just feel incomplete without him. Now I know we've had SpongeBob, Patrick, and Sandy all playable in Nicktoons Volcano Island before without Squidward, but there were story reasons behind that. Nothing stopping him here. So, let's Squidward brawl. Number 4 is Dib from Invader Zim, another rival character. He'd be a really neat addition to the roster as he's an antagonist who's still a good guy. Plus he has great moveset potential with his paranormal investigation gear and all his stealth equipment. And in Dib's Wonderful Life of Doom, he just mysteriously gains superpowers. Super strength, super speed, the ability to breathe in space pretty much, electric powers, and so on. Yes, that was all a simulation Zim made to get revenge on Dib for throwing a muffin at him, but you could still just give it to him. Plus, since Zim has Gur, Dib could also bring in gas for some attacks, like throwing the ham. Lots of options. I know Zim isn't exactly as big as SpongeBob or Loud House or anything, but it still deserves a second rep. Number 3 is Spectre from PlayStation's Ape Escape series. Now, hang on. Did you know Nickelodeon actually produced Ape Escape animated shorts for Nicktoons Network? They were extremely cheaply animated and overall weren't very good, but it was still Ape Escape, and Spectre was one of the stars of the show. And he missed his chance in PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale as they gave his spot to Spike, the protagonist. So, you know, with all that in mind, I'm sure there's a nice empty spot reserved just for him. Maybe, possibly. It would be interesting to see. I mean, it's not like PlayStation's doing anything with Ape Escape, so go for it, Nick. Yeah, and it'd be pretty interesting to see them get a few third parties too, just like Smash Bros gets. Speaking of, number 2 is Son Goku. Yep, that's right. I'm sure you've all seen the tweet. Dragon Ball Z Kai did in fact air on Nicktoons, and they treated it a lot better than 4Kids did. Since none of these Nickelodeon characters originated from a video game or have to originate from a video game, there's nothing blocking Goku if Nickelodeon eventually does dive into third-party characters. I just think it would be extremely funny and a huge power move if the Nickelodeon Smash Bros got Goku before the actual Smash Bros. Plus, he's even wearing a Nickelodeon orange gi. He's dressed for the occasion. Let him in. And number 1 is Toph from Avatar: The Last Airbender. Now all the other entries on this list have been characters I wanted, but with a bit of memes mixed in. Toph, however, is one that's pretty much entirely serious. Now if we look at the box art, we can see silhouettes of Aang and Korra, so Avatar characters are definitely joining the fight. We even have an Air Temple stage already. But just like how we really need more Zelda reps in Smash than just the Triforce wielders, we really need more Avatar reps in Nickelodeon All-Stars besides just the Avatars. Now Zuko would be cool, or Sokka, it'd be neat to have a non-bender, but Toph is my absolute favorite, so it's gotta be her, with her earth-bending abilities. She's just really important to me, one of my favorite fictional characters of all time. I can relate to her with the visual disabilities, it can be a struggle sometimes. I think her powers are really cool, her design is super neat, she'd bring a lot to the table, we need more Avatar characters than just the Avatars, and she means a ton to me as a character, so please put her in the game. But with that said, those are my top 10 most wanted characters in Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl. But let me know what you guys think. What do you think of my picks? Who are your most wanted? And be sure to tell me down in the comment section below. And I'll see you guys next time. Leopold the Brave, out.